Hello students, this is Professor Faiz Raut from Jain College of Engineering, Department of MBA. I'm teaching subject Legal and Business Environment. I'm in Module 5, lecture number 2nd. Okay, in the previous lecture, in the first lecture, we have started with Module 5, and Module 5 includes the industrial policies and the structure of Indian industrial environment. Okay, with in the first lecture, we have talked about the industrial policies and what is the kind of industrial policies India has and what are the different kinds of resolutions. We have talked about resolution in 1948, resolution in 1956, and resolution in 1977. Okay, and I told you there were some problems in the year from 1948 to 1990. So what were their problems? And because of these problems, these problems led to the liberalization of 1991. These problems were one of the main reasons of the liberalization and socialization privatization of 1991. So let us go through these problems. Well, in the in the course of time from 1948 1956, these resolutions were passing. India slowly became self-sufficient in some cases. Okay, there was sufficient achievement in industrial development, and during almost 4 to 5 decades as of then, and India has emerged as the 10th largest industrial country in the world. But the analysis showed that there were still problems. The the highlight of these problems were the concentration of economic powers were in the hands of few. Only few people held the economic power. As in the previous lecture, I have told you, more than half of the India's wealth is with hardly 10% of the India's population, and rest 90% of the India's population hold less than half of the wealth of the country. So there is a huge gap between rich and poor, and still the gap exists, and it was a huge gap in those days in the prior 1990 years. Okay, second is regional imbalances. There were some states or some cities which were highly developed, but there were some states or some cities which were not developed much, and few of the states concentrated only on developing their capital and didn't concentrate on developing other cities in their state. And a few the priorities of few states were different, like education and healthcare, and priorities of different state were different. As India is very diverse country, there were many priorities, and many language barriers, cultural barriers were there. So there was regional imbalances in country. Then next is sickness of industries. Okay, sickness of industries is the industries which are there in the market for more than 5 years. Many of those industries were getting losses in their balance sheets, regular losses in their balance sheets. That was the problem. Okay, next is loss in public sector industries. And there are many public sector industries which were in continuous loss, and government had to uh, take care of those public sector industries by giving money, by announcing some packages to revamp those industries and all. That was the problem in the public sector industries. Next is unsatisfactory labor relations. Okay, the labor at that time were thought to be very unproductive and quite lazy, but there were certain problems which the higher management didn't understood about the labor. So there were constant strikes, and unorganized way of dealing with the labors were happening. So there were not good relations with the labors. Next is a lack of capital and industrial raw materials. The capital was very low, and the GDP of India was not so good at that time, and industrial raw materials was also not proper, because as in the undivided India, there were many natural resources in the area which is now Pakistan, and the area which is in Nepal and Bangladesh and Myanmar. There were many natural resources over there, and mainly industries were there in the present India. So when India got independence, and these regions became different countries, India lacked raw materials for the industries. So the revamping of those raw materials and developing these agricultural activities was a major problem at that time. So industries were lacking raw materials. Next is changing policy of the government. Okay, there were many policies which were not favorable, where there was policies which were favorable, but they were continuously changing and many resolutions were being passed. So because of that, some problems were faced in the private sector as well. Next is a defective licensing policy. This was the main culprit in undermining the industrial sector of India, because the license policy was because the license policy was very rudely and very crudely used by some of the officers during that time. Because if a company wants to do anything, to launch a product, to remove an employee, to buy a land, anything, they need the license or the permission from the government officials. So it was the company were finding it very difficult to get any approval passed easily. So this was licensing policy was the main culprit, and it was removed in the 1991 resolution. Okay, so these were some of the problems. I have listed down few of the problems, main few of the main problems. So let us see. Okay, some of the problem during the plan period. Okay, uh, what do you mean by plan period? Plan period is when the resolution of 1948 was done. It was decided that for every 5 years, okay, there will be some plan, and after that 5 years get completed, we will review the 5 years what we have done, and depending upon those performance of the 5 years, we will change the next 5 year plan. So the first 5 year plan in India was started in 1951. So from 1951 to 1956, that 5 year, there was some plan were executed. Okay, there was some plan made and it was executed in those 5 years. And after those 5 years got completed in 1956, that previous 5 year was reviewed, and again a new plan was being executed by changing some of the things which were not good in those 5 years plans. So regularly India followed the 5 year plan period. So from 1951 to 1956, so from 1956 to 1961, like that the 5 year plans were done, and presently we are in the 13th 5 year plan, which is going to get completed in 2024 or 2020, yeah, 2024. So what were the problems during the plan period before 1991, or this continued till early 2000 to 2000 as well? Okay, so the first one is unbalanced industrial structure. Okay, India is still independent on the foreign imports for transport equipments and machineries and iron and steel, paper, chemical, fertilizer, plastic materials. India is not self-sufficient in manufacturing all these. So India had to import many of the things. And therefore, there is an unbalanced industrial structure in India. Okay, next is regional concentration. The thing I have told you in the previous slide, there was a regional concentration. States like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu were ahead in the industrial development, as compared to the other states like Meghalaya, Manipur, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh. Those were not that developed. So there was a concentration, and because of that, the population from the other states used to come to the highly developed states. So there was a huge migration problem. Third is loss in the public sector industries. Okay, uh, many of the things I've told you about the loss in the public sector industries. Every year, government had to incur huge expenditure to cover up these losses and meet obligations of paying wages to the employees. For example, we have been recently hearing about Air India from past 3-4 months, that Air India is huge losses, and government is offering government is offering shares of Air India to other private players, and they are not interested, and a huge what do you say, a huge expenditure is being incurred on Air India. So all those problems were there in certain companies in the public sector undertakings. Okay, next is, yeah, fourth one, industrial sickness. Okay, industrial sickness, it was caused, it was because of deficient management. Okay, underutilization of capacity due to shortage of raw materials. I've told you, the raw material, there was shortage of raw materials because of the independence and the division of the countries. Raw materials in the case of coal, power, transport, even transport was not good at that time. There were no roads properly built, and railways were not that much connected. Okay, the connectivity was the problem, and electricity was also a problem. Then third is obsolete machinery. There was old machinery, not technology was not that developed, and uneconomical scale of production, faulty choice of products and processes, difficulties in selling the products. All those things caused the industrial sickness, and these industries went into losses for prolonged period of time. Next is lack of infrastructure. Okay, well, still we are facing the problems of infrastructure, but in those days, even the electricity which was there was a huge fluctuation, and when you are buying a machinery and there is a huge fluctuation in electricity, that machinery get damaged. How uh, the level of machinery may be the machinery may be imported, or whatever the quality of that machinery is, but if the supply of electricity is not uh, properly received to that machinery gets hampered. Frequent changes in voltages and currents, all those things. And even the rail transport was overburdened when many places were not connected, and roads transport was so it was plagued with many problems. Even national highways were not in so good shape. Okay, and next is improper location base. Okay, many industries were established not on the basis of cost effective points. Some industries were established in some state because of some influence of some political party or some political leader. So the industry and if it was not there, there was a problem with permission and all those political things was there. So some places industries were established which were not cost effective. So in the over a period of time, if the issue is not solved, or they don't relocate, or something happens like that, then it can cause industrial sickness as well. Next is, in this, is lack of capital. Okay, industrial development faced shortage of capital, and definitely the situation becomes acute when fresh loans were taken to pay the installments of old loans. That means they were not able to pay even the installment of old loans, and to pay the installment, they were taking new loans for that. Okay, so due to liberalization, the foreign exchange reserve position improved in those years after 1991, and because of this, the flow of foreign capital also started in industrial sector. Many FDIs came. Initially, there was no FDI allowed in India. Later on, slowly the FDI started increasing. Many joint ventures started happening in 1991. Hero had a joint venture with Honda, and Maruti have a joint venture still with Suzuki. So many of the joint ventures started happening, but before that, it was the capital inflow was very low, and it was a problematic situation. Okay, next is shortage of industrial raw material. Okay, shortage of industrial raw material. This I've told you in the slides before. Why the shortage of raw material was there? Because as India is a core agricultural economy, and India depends mainly on monsoon season. okay, on the monsoon rains, and these rains are very unpredictable. Sometimes there is a flood, sometimes there is drought situation, and this affects the agriculture. Also, this affects the generation of power, generation of electricity, because many of the plants in India are based on hydroelectric generation. That means they use water to run the turbines which produces the electricity, and if there is lack of water, there will be lack of electricity, okay, leading to energy crisis and more pressure on thermal power sector, okay. So these were 8 points. Next is last 2 points are remaining. Okay, higher cost of production and low quality of goods. Well, Indian industries mostly survive of home demands. The here most of the work is done by hand or by old or obsolete machine. So our industrial products are not able to make wide market abroad. The only market is there in India itself, and because of this high cost of production, if ever the products get exported, they will be high cost, and so they'll not find market. And the problem is the quality of goods is not that good as it is expected outside. So industrial products are only sold in the home markets. Okay, next, the last one, the main culprit was licensing policy. Okay, for permission from the government was required for almost any major thing. For starting new companies, for producing new products, or expanding production capacities, for laying off workers, for shutting down, for winding up, for everything, the permission was needed. And tariff was also a problem. The tax was also a problem. Nowadays, when we import something, the tariff is way low than it was then at that time. For example, the nominal tariff rates as a percentage of values in 1985 were 146% for intermediate goods, 107% for capital goods, 140% for consumer goods. ठीक है, can you judge what is the level of tariff? Suppose you are mm, suppose in this year you were buying some car from Germany, okay. You are importing that car. You have bought that car, for example, for 5 lakhs rupees. So when you're bringing this 5 lakh rupee car in India to the Indian customs, you need to pay some amount. And what is that amount? That amount is around 100%. That means you have to pay 10 lakhs to the custom. A 5 lakh rupees car, you have to pay 10 lakhs to the custom. So the cost of the car will now become 15 lakhs to you. So import was very highly subdued. Okay, it was not, it was very difficult to import anything. Okay, so these were the problems, major problems during that time. And because of all these problems, some drastic changes were required to happen, which took place in 1991 with the advent of liberalization, socialization, privatization. And these are the not the only problems, but the major problems. The other macroeconomic factors were also responsible for the liberalization in 1991. Some of the factors that Indian economy was not doing good because of war between India and Pakistan, war between India and China. So economic situation was not good. Also, the Gulf War was happening, and because of that, oil prices went up, and India had to buy this crude oil, and India was very dependent on import of crude oil as well. So the foreign reserves of India were depleting. Okay, in the details of this 1991 liberalization, I'll talk about this in next lecture. It is very interesting. Okay, so as of now, I complete this lecture. Thank you for listening.